Hello there. Welcome to Ewok Talk, a podcast about all things Star Wars. Back at it again, I'm Nicholas Koss here with
Mohammed Salahin.
And I'm Diana.
These on.
We don't need to do this.
Every time.
Why?
Every single time.
Let's keep this
name?
in. Keep this in.
Every time.
Keep this in.
Every time we introduce ourselves with our full name, and then you always go, and I'm Diana. And it's like, just say your full name.
Don't be like, yo.
Just say the full name.
Hey, what's your last name? I'll be whatever you want, baby.
Hey, you just
My
trying to...
Diana
last name.
Skywalker.
Oh!
I don't like this game anymore.
Yeah, because you got roasted. So there's two little pieces of news before we get into our real topic today. Firstly, recently, LEGO Star Wars designers have released the Ultimate Collector Series Republic Gunship set, and a lot of fans are really excited about it. It looks very cool. That way, Mo's already laughing. I don't know why. I didn't even get into it yet.
Yeah, you just said a lot of fans. Yeah, probably.
No, it's continuous.
What the heck is this guy?
No, it's probably just because he's heard mostly complaints about it. Specifically from you.
No, I'm not. I don't have it. I'm not going to buy it. It's too much money. It's like a $350 set, and it's ginormous. We would not have space. It's like as big as this frickin' coffee table.
That you guys can't see. But yeah, there was that one quote from that guy. It's just like, yo, sometimes Lego does it for me, and I don't need to like buy a set or something like that.
Oh yeah, that was a comment on the video. It was like, sometimes Lego just makes something that I couldn't possibly like spend money on, and they save me money. And that's one of those things, a $350 Republic Gunship. But anyway, so the controversy around this topic was that these big sets usually come with a very small number of the little minifigure guys, and the choice, they did a vote, so this was a fan voted project. So they asked the fans what minifigures they would like to see within this set. And most people, I think the popular ones were like a cult favorite figure called Jedi Bob, who's just like a generic Lego Jedi guy, and also Commander Cody in his armor, which surprisingly they have not made a Phase 2 Commander Cody in. Well, actually, technically, I don't think they've ever made one. So that's why people are pretty upset about it, because they decided not to include either of those figures, even though they asked the community to vote on who they would like to see, and they just kind of completely ignored that. And that's why people are mostly upset about that. It's just the minifigure selection and why would they even bother having a fan vote if they're not going to listen to it at all?
Right.
Wait. It's the size of this coffee table?
Oh, it's pretty freaking big.
So the minifigures have to be like the size of like a small hand.
No. It's the normal size like Lego
it's
figures.
It's just a big ship.
Yeah, so that's...
It's a big model. And look,
so the right. Yeah, exactly, right. The figurines
right. So the figures are not in scale with the model. Okay. So it doesn't really matter that much. The figures aren't that big of a draw for the set, yes. But people are just annoyed. And one of the comments that the designers made has especially pissed off people.
Ooh.
Just because, so the figures they included were 2 figures, a Mace Windu and a Commander clone from Episode 2. So it's just a yellow marking clone.
Badass.
Yeah, they look good. They're good figures. But they didn't even include pilots for the ship, in a set that's about a ship, right? It's kind of weird.
It is, but again, the figurines wouldn't line up with the ship anyway.
There is spots to put them in. You can put the 2 pilots in
I guess
the
I just can't
seats.
picture it. Like this size figure and this size ship.
Yeah, no. They don't really... They looked a little too small, but it's still nice to see figures in the pilot spots.
Totally fair.
But anyway, the thing that made people mad was that a clone pilot and a Lego Commander minifigure don't really look the same. The only similarity is that they're both yellow, and the Lego designers specifically said, and this was the quote that's been pissing off a lot of people in their video, they're like, oh yeah, we chose Mace Windu and a clone commander because they're 2 figures from the Attack of the Clones. They fit well in this set. Also, the clone commander can double as a pilot for this vehicle.
Oh, no.
And they say, let's be honest, all most people remember from the movies is that there was a yellow clone trooper with some yellow markings on the helmet piloting the vehicle.
Wow.
And look, I agree with that statement for most people, but like they got to know the people that are going to spend $350 on this
it's like know your
thing,
fucking audience.
like are going to know the difference.
I feel like he like jumped out of the screen and stabbed you in the heart personally when he said that.
Like, why would they? I just feel like that is such a stupid comment to make. Like, I don't know. It's like, the Star Wars audience is volatile.
Yeah.
You think that's going to be cool to say?
Who was the game company that was like going to make a big announcement and then it's like a mobile game and then everyone booed them and they're like, what? You guys don't have phones?
Oh,
yeah. I think it was Blizzard.
Yeah, Blizzard. So I guess that's this.
Well, despite all the hate, I have heard many people are excited about the yellow guy. They're like, this is a nice shade of yellow. School bus yellow.
Right on.
I specifically said that, but yeah.
No. I mean, you told me it was school bus yellow, but I've seen a lot of people on Reddit excited. They're like, oh, look at this guy. And I'm like...
I do like that guy. Anyway, I just thought it was funny that people are really mad about it and that the designers would say something so...
Yeah, he didn't help.
Stupidly offensive to like
let me make this
fans
situation
of Star
worse.
Wars.
Yeah, where's the press department here?
And that's the thing though too, is that if this was like, I'm trying to think of a ship from the original trilogy that would have multiple figures in it. I don't know.
Millennium Falcon.
But it's like, in a snow speeder, they're gonna put like the exact Luke Skywalker and
I can see it.
It's just like they're not gonna fuck that up. They're not gonna be like, these are just two random pilots with like no markings that make them look specific to that scene or anything. But like that's what people remember, is that they had orange suits on.
Yeah. They got the scout troopers in the snow.
Yeah, they're like, all people remember is that there was Imperials.
And they were wearing white and black.
They were white.
There you go.
Yeah, they probably do something like that, put stormtroopers in a snow set. But anyway, and then the second piece of news was that, I don't know who sent this to us, but somebody addressed this book specifically to me. It is Secrets of the Force, the complete, uncensored, unauthorized oral history of Star Wars. Wow. This is a really cool book. Whoever sent it, thank you very much. I'm really enjoying it. I've been reading it a little bit so far. Please let us know who sent this so we can thank you personally.
Please.
This is awesome. The only thing it said on the package was from some publishing company.
Yeah, it had Nick Koss, then Ewok Talk, which I thought was strange. What I specifically thought was strange is that my name wasn't on the box.
Hey.
And your name wasn't on the box. I'm kidding. You guys don't even know my last name.
Yeah, exactly.
I was just most confused by how you got our address, but hey.
Well, yeah, so it's got to be someone...
Keep sending gifts.
Yeah, I feel like it's someone we know.
It's got to be someone we know personally.
Unless...
But they never told me they were sending this. Or maybe they did and I just like didn't remember. I don't know. But please let us know.
Yeah, please remind us if we forgot. Sorry.
I've been reading in the prequel section of the book on the train, and there's some fun stuff about the casting of Phantom Menace right now that I've been reading, and just wanted to read you something George Lucas said about when they were casting Ewan McGregor for Obi-Wan. And he said, the first thing Ewan McGregor said when he came in for his audition was, "You've got to give me this because my uncle was Wedge."
Oh, I didn't know that.
I said, oh, that's a good reason. So like this book just has a lot of really cool quotes from pretty much everybody who's been in Star Wars.
Now say it like Ewan McGregor.
I can't.
You've got to give me this. My uncle was
Well,
Wedge.
you'd be talking in a Scottish accent, right?
Yeah, we're going.
Oh, wow.
I apologize to all of our Scottish listeners.
I didn't know we had Ewan in studio. Wow. That's amazing.
I felt that in my chest.
Anyway, thank you again so much for sending that book. I am loving it.
Oh, I just want to say how happy I am to be part of a production that receives gifts from fans. Honestly, I feel like prestigious.
Yeah, we made it, guys.
Our IG has been popping lately.
That's all Nick.
Yeah, it's all Nick.
Yeah, it's all me.
That's why I got the book.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, somehow they found my address from our IG somehow. I don't know. Anyway, so the big topic for this week's episode is we are talking about the final season of the Clone Wars. And Mo never watched it, I don't think, before this, right?
I haven't, and in the interest of full disclosure, I have not seen much else of the Clone Wars besides season 7.
Yeah, we tried. I showed Mo some of the first season so far. It's a bit rough in the beginning. I think we'll probably pick some specific 3 or 4 episodes here and there to talk about in the future, because there are definitely some good stories in there that are worth discussing. And there's a lot of episodes that, let's be honest, you don't really need to watch.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
enough.
there's some episodes of this season that we didn't really need to watch.
Yeah, arguably there's a lot of episodes in this season that are not really necessary to watch.
Yeah.
But so what was your impression of that arc with the Bad Batch introduction and everything?
I did not like it. No, I'm kidding. It was. I mean, it was fine. I mean, like I've watched season 7 before, so I know what season 7 to me, like what's important about season 7 to me. Rather, I feel like I wasn't particularly engaged, and it was more of a way to introduce the Bad Batch so they can make the series rather than have a really interesting plot. But that's just my opinion. Like I appreciate some of the things that they established for Rex and his need to save Echo, despite quote unquote just being another clone. Like that means a lot, and I think that resonated even more later in the season when like shit hits the fan.
Definitely. I mean, I think the only reason they included this specific arc was this is the Rex story, and then the next part's the Ahsoka story, and then they kind of come together.
Yeah.
So I understand why they did it this way. I did like Rex believing Echo was still out there needing to save him, you know. But I don't know if that part of the story was really that strong. I just felt like there was a lot of stuff that just didn't really matter that much in these 4 episodes. I didn't really care about the Bad Batch watching this. Now that we have the show all about them, I've been enjoying that enough, but didn't care for their characters at all very much in this. I was like, I get it, they're badasses, but they're trying a little too hard, really, honestly. One guy's like, I big tough.
Yeah.
And the other guy's like, I'm a sniper. And I talk like this. And then the other guy's just like, oh, did you know the mating cycle of these boys? And it's like, oh, God.
We got the whole Bad Batch here, guys.
Yeah, I'm actually D. Bradley Baker. I didn't know if you knew that. But I thought that was okay. I mean, there was definitely cool action, though, in these 4. Sure. Like, it was cool to see, they did a lot of, like, one-take shots through action scenes and a lot of cool angles and stuff. I thought since they had such a break between the previous season, which was, I guess, season 6, when that came out later on Netflix. I don't know what year, but there was a wide gap, if people don't know. There was a wide gap between releases. This season came out more recently. They finally got to finish it up because it ended when Disney acquired Lucasfilm, but now Dave Filoni got back to his story and finished it up. And I feel like this feels like the rest of the Clone Wars. These 4 episodes kind of just feel like the Clone Wars, like we're just kind of dropped back in the middle of the story. So I do think that they work for what they are,
He's getting emotional.
Yeah.
I did think the squabbling between the Bad Batch and like the regular clones was just kind of stupid. It's just like,
right,
guys, you're all the same guys. Yeah. Like, I know like you are mutated to be different a little bit, but like you're still clones of the same guy. Can we not like hate each other?
Well, so my biggest beef there is like the Bad Batch is having lunch and the other clones are like making fun of them like they're pariahs, and it's like that guy's 12 feet tall. Like, the whole point is that these guys are badasses.
Yeah.
They're not like losers at the lunchroom, right? Like, what the hell is going on here?
That's in the Bad Batch show, though.
Is that where I saw that scene?
Yeah.
How embarrassing.
But it's more
start there, yeah.
but in this arc, though, it's more them being like looking down at the other clones for being like, you're not as superior as us because we're cooler.
Well, that actually, then in that case, that makes sense to me. I'm surprised it didn't make sense to you. It makes sense to me to look down on clones.
It surprises me that they didn't really follow through with that in the Bad Batch. For what it seems so far, at least, from what I've seen, is that... Because I feel like if I was in the Bad Batch, I'd have to be like, I'm a special clone, so...
Yeah, see, that's where I'm confused.
That's why they so bad.
It's just like, I don't know if they were like specifically like made to be special or if they just turned out wrong and then they just happened to be special. I thought it was okay. I just thought there was just needless tension between like our protagonists. Aside from that, I thought, the reveal of Echo was really good. Like when they open it up and it's just like,
he's a soggy boy.
Like, cyborg monster. Like, that was good. That was creepy. And I really kind of wish they leaned into like that trauma more because they kind of just gloss over it basic.
Like, we got
he's
him.
pretty much fine.
Yeah.
Like, instantly.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's maybe one episode where he's kind of like, oh, I got a headache, and I kind of limp a little bit. And then the next episode, he's like, what's up, guys? Back at it again. It's just me, Echo. I feel like you'd be fucked. Like, you'd be mentally not okay to just go back into battle.
Yeah, exactly. And actually, I think this is a broader issue that Star Wars suffers from, in that, like, you know, we love when there's a new angle, we love when there's new characters or whatever being explored, but there is this, you know, like a set of principles or tropes or whatever, or characteristics that, like, they refuse to break out of.
Yeah, or like there's a lot of missed potential.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're never going to have, like, the deeply emotional and visceral Star Wars story. It's always going to have that gloss of, like, oh, I got shot by a blaster. Like, 10,000 of my friends just died. All right, on to the next thing.
Yeah, we're moving on.
Yeah.
I totally get that. It would be cool to see more mature Star Wars property.
Maybe they'll explore it more in the Bad Batch. That would be cool.
No.
If we say it on the podcast,
Doubtful.
it might happen.
Yeah, that's true. We have that power.
Yeah, right. Kathleen, are you listening?
Also, I mean, to be fair, the Clone Wars, like, took steps in that direction, and I applaud it. And maybe there's more to be discovered, because, look, body horror and Star Wars, like, they don't see it, but it goes together like nothing else.
Yeah.
People are constantly getting their limbs cut off.
Right. And I think Revenge of the Sith actually handled that pretty well out of all the Star Wars things that I've seen. You know, with Anakin's charred up body. That was pretty...
Yeah, no, I
didn't shy away from that.
That's it's a very visceral, like image I have in my head from youth.
Right. I did think Rex's speech to, like, those indigenous people was pretty stupid, of like, well, you got to make a choice now, because now you're in the middle of this war. And it's just like, you assholes literally said you weren't going to bring the war to them, and then you come back and immediately bring the war to them, and then you tell them they have to make a decision, and they should choose your side because the other side's bad. And it's like, I get it. I get what they did to Echo was horrible. That is inhumane and terrible. But also, like, these people have no stake in your fight. Like, you literally just get, like, I don't know, it looked like almost like a fourth of their village died in this battle.
Yeah.
You promised, bro.
It was like, what did you didn't help them do anything. Like,
yeah, also,
pretty
look,
fucked up.
The single best argument for joining my side is that I've got that jumping space sword guy, like, right there. So, I mean,
yeah.
What do you want?
Well, I know. I mean, like, I just think it's just like, literally, if you guys moved like 200 feet to the right, the droids wouldn't even attack this village.
Oh, what's funny, I like to take a darker implication here, where Rex is like, yeah, you got to make a choice, and we're all here right now, and we're going to light you the fuck up if you don't pick us.
Yeah, that's our hero, guys.
Your choice.
That's realistic.
Yeah. Other than that, you know, I mean, there's what?
Oh, can we just talk? I forget if I saw this for the first time in this 4 episodes, but the droids now use strategy droids or something like that, tactical droids.
Yeah.
And, like, this comes up again and again as, like, the weakness of their army. Why the fuck do they keep doing it?
Using strategic droids or
yeah,
whatever?
like, what is I don't understand the value of these, like, apparently very important tactical droids.
Well, the tactical droids form the battle plans.
But the clones seem to do fine without that. They don't have tactical droids, they just have commanders.
Yeah, but the droids don't have as many human commanders. That's why they need the tactical droids.
But so my thing is, why is the entire nervous system located constantly in one guy that's, like, always in jeopardy? It just seems so stupid to me, again and again, for the droids to do this.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I don't know. And usually they're in a spot that's, like, I don't know. It's as if any military officer would be valuable, you know. But they're usually in an area that's, like, hard to get to. And that later on in the season, when there's one literally on the fucking bridge where Anakin kills, that one made no sense.
Okay.
That was just a stupid. We'll talk about that when we get there.
Yeah, it just seems to get to have delegated command over 100 million robots. But I don't know. I'm not the fucking guy in charge of this.
Yeah, there's more than one tactical droid per planet.
Okay, then why is each one so goddamn valuable? They're droids. Just plug them into another robot.
I don't know. They've got special programming. I don't know what to tell you there.
I'm writing this to George Lucas.
I am not emotionally invested in this conversation.
All I see when I see Star Wars is the war part.
Speaking of droids, though, what did you think of the this new flying battle droid design?
I'm trying to remember it. So I guess I didn't think a whole lot about it.
Like they were pretty heavily featured in the first 3 episodes, I think, of that.
I don't have any feelings towards it. Did you like it?
No, I thought they were stupid as shit.
Yeah. You seem like you hate them.
I thought they were just dumb. But whatever. Like I agree, they're not really important. Mm-hmm. I just thought if you're gonna make a new design, might as well stand out, and it really just did not for me. Yeah, I just thought
literally did not stand out.
Did not leave an impression on you at all.
Yeah, I'm looking at cool robots and shit.
Yeah. So yeah, the only other trivia I had for these 4 episodes was that the Caradat call that Tech uses to like attract them when they're in peril is actually the Acklay sound effects from the Geonosian Arena in episode 2.
Oh.
The spider crab thing.
Yeah. That's interesting.
Yeah, no, I thought it was cool. It's cool to hear that again.
Cool beansies.
All right. Moving on to the Martez Sisters arc with Ahsoka Tano. That's episodes 5 through 8 of season 7. I'll start you guys off. I don't know. So let me just go by episode. Episode 5, meeting the Martez sisters, is like, okay, whatever. Episode 6, I'm like, I don't really like you guys that much, but okay, I guess we're going on this journey. And then 7 and 8, I'm like, kill these characters.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
They're just so... I don't care, and you're just making me mad.
They're extremely flat IMO. Like the part that'll always stick out to me is when they're all arguing over the first actual crisis, where I'm like, okay, this is kind of a tough situation.
Yeah.
You know, how are they going to react? And so Ahsoka's saying one thing, and the Rafa's saying one thing, and then the third one's like, no one's taking my ship, and I'm like, pay attention, dude.
Yeah.
And then they do that stupid impulsive thing, and everyone's like, you're fucking stupid.
Right.
What's the takeaway here? Besides that this girl is stupid as fuck.
Right.
That's the thing, is that I at least kind of see Rafa's perspective on things, but Trace is just like, how have you survived this long?
Because of her sister. That's the sad part.
That was my thing. It was like, for 2 girls that seem to have literally grown up on the streets after their parents were killed, is like they have literally no common sense or street smarts or like any idea what the fuck they're doing. So it's like, really?
That Pike being all like, your stupidity is authentic. I was like, damn.
That was a great line.
It was a massive read. Like, shit, dude. They should have been 1 episode people.
Yeah. It's funny, too, because it's set up with, like, Rafa, you know, like, Trace being the nice whatever, and Rafa being, like, the sister bullying me. But, like, every single decision that happens from that moment of encounter proves that Rafa's making the right calls every time, and Trace would literally wither and die without her. IMO.
And, like, even when, like, Ahsoka, like, gives them the getaway, she's like, I can tell you where their family is. And they're like, why? And Tracy's like, why would you say that? And then they fly off. And she's like, why would she say that? She knows that we don't have a family. And Rafa's like, yeah, that's a fucking point. She's like, well, you mean Ahsoka meant to do that?
Yeah. And also, it's like, if you want me to like a character, why the fuck are you giving them this broccoli-ass haircut? Like, even if she didn't have that, I wouldn't like her. But, like, that's just the icing on the cake. It's just like, oh, my God, I hate looking at you.
It's just so like some hair doesn't translate well into 3D animation.
Well, yeah, I suppose.
Have you guys seen VeggieTales? Like, that's literally what her hair looks like.
She looks like Kevin, the sea cucumber.
Oh, Kevin.
I'll show you a picture later.
Okay.
No, that's true.
No. All right. I gotta say, I actually did like the first episode in this arc. It was cool to see more of, like, the underworld of Coruscant. Okay. And, like, when Ahsoka is, you know, like, on her own, you see, like, she's got her speeder bike and whatnot. That was cool to see. And it was cool, you know, her trying to, like, get those power lift droids or whatever back. That action stuff was, like, good enough. Like, I thought that was fun, you know. But, like, the other 3 episodes just kind of get just boring and frustrating.
Yeah, and, like, their, like, sob story wasn't that compelling. I'm sorry. Like, it sucks that happened, but it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, that's like half of the galaxy, dude. What the fuck? There's a war. I'm just saying. One thing, for me, I think I had a little bit of fatigue because I guess knowing the time constraints of the season, knowing it's the last season, I thought to myself, I was like, even if we had the next 8 episodes with these people, I just didn't feel like enough to justify all of this. And then I got to thinking like, oh, this is probably set up for some other fucking show.
Exactly.
And I had like set up fatigue with the fucking Bad Batch and now with these guys. And I'm like, all right, is there a show here or am I just getting teased for future productions?
I know the point of these episodes was to show Ahsoka on her own and seeing what decisions she makes after she's left the Jedi Order, but God, they really should have like written a completely different arc.
It's just like this is not the story I wanted to hear.
Painful. Like it doesn't even really shine like a great light on Ahsoka either. She doesn't really seem very competent or like engaging in this story. Like she's just like stuck with a couple of idiots and she's just making the most common sense decisions. It's not like impressive.
Yeah. And it's just like it's such a contrast to like the ending of the season.
Yes. Oh, I just want to say, I think the best thing that happened there is Ahsoka's like Jedi mind trick on the Pike, which is like, I don't know. Since I was literally 1, I was like, if I was a Jedi, I'd be Jedi mind tricking the shit out of every person I ever fucking met for any reason.
Except that was literally in front of everyone else. Like all of his other bad guy associates. I guess, Obi-Wan's was too, in front of all the other stormtroopers.
But Obi-Wan's wasn't as crazy.
Yeah, Obi-Wan's was a lot less, was a lot more subtle. Yeah.
To the point where I'm like, Ahsoka, why don't you Jedi mind trick this second guy who wants to open the thing?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, exactly. I did like seeing Kessel again, I thought it was cool to see a different part of that planet than we saw in Solo. I mean, we did see the Solo Kessel mining stuff, but we also saw that there's a whole different part of this planet that's just like lush, extravagant manor, in like this forest, this really nice looking place. But yeah, it was just cool to see this really like how the rich people on this planet have really just profited off of this like terrible mining situation where they just have hundreds of slaves doing their dirty work. And then on the other side of the planet, there's just these really nice, beautiful forests and their big ass mansion and stuff. And they're just like, and they've got like their fucking little 17 forks next to their plates. And they're all having a banquet over some drug deal. And it's just like, wow.
Nick Koss is literally a communist now because of Star Wars.
But yeah, no, I just thought that was cool. I liked it.
I have a question here. And so during the Solo movie, it made sense to me that this was some kind of like fucked up criminal mining operation on account of like...
Oh, the fucked up criminal.
On account of the Empire, right?
Right, well, the Empire, yeah, exactly. And so, but what I don't understand is like, so the spice thing is important, it seems to me. A very important and profitable thing.
Yeah.
So why the fuck isn't the government doing anything about this?
Right. I don't know. Spice seems to be used for both medicinal purposes and narcotics.
Yeah, but it seems to me like it can only be produced in this one place, unlike, like heroin or something. Or I'm sorry, opium, which is produced all over a large...
Well, I think there are other places. I think Kessel is just a really big one. Yeah. One of the big ones.
Okay. Someone should, get on top of this, Jedi. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I like that. Well, I like that they bring that up. The Republic wouldn't let there just be like all these slaves working here and like not try to like, come in and take control of the planet or figure out something, And yeah, Ahsoka's like, yeah, you'd think so. Yeah. That was a good moment, actually, in these episodes to show how the Republic is not the best leadership.
The episodes overall like do a good job of that development specifically as opposed to like character development. Like why the Jedi Order actually kind of sucks ass.
Yeah. Yeah. Makes sense.
B-plot.
Also, Trace and Rafa and Ahsoka kill at least more than 12 of these fucking Pike gangster guys, and the only thing they do is put them back in the same goddamn cell that they were in at the beginning of the episode, like the third episode. You think they know where your spice is, so you want to keep them alive, but at a certain point, it's like, you're just literally killing all of these people that are working under us. We can't just like not do anything. We can't just like put you in a cell and torture you a little bit and be like, we're going to be mean to you if you don't tell us where the spice is.
Also, it's 30,000 credits worth of spice. I caught that number. Mm-hmm. Dude, those guys must at least be worth like 10,000 credits, right? I mean, right? I mean, they get trained, they work. I'm just saying, Jesus, cost benefit analysis.
Yeah. Well, I would get that like maybe they don't mean that much to these people. Maybe, maybe they're very expendable, sure. But I don't know. I'd be pretty pissed really trying to kill these bitches after that happened. I just thought that was weird. And also, Ahsoka is just cool with murdering all these guys.
Well, yeah, I was going to say, do we know what her first kill is? Like, that's not a robot? It's not this, is it?
It might be, technically.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Because I really feel like Star Wars should kind of start dealing with death a little better.
One of the things is, like, especially that guy that when that one lift is going up and the guy is, like, grabbing onto her and they
crushed,
literally all just, like, hold on to this guy's body and he gets crushed in between, like, a lift and a ceiling. It's just like, Ahsoka, what the fuck? Drugs is bad, but cold-blooded murder is okay. Like, Jesus. What the fuck?
I mean, there's a level of self-defense, but this is, again, a kid, and it is, again, murder. So
it is murder, and we have seen time and time again that there are a lot of stun weapons in Star Wars.
Right.
What's Anakin's first kill?
Tusken Raiders.
Is it?
Probably.
Yeah, because that was handled pretty well in that case.
That was pretty dark, and it was done well.
Because otherwise it's just robots.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, actually, wait. No, I guess he did blow up the entire droid space, like the Trade Federation ship that had a whole crew of Nemoidians.
Yeah, but
when he was 10?
But it's different when, like...
It's different when it's mass genocide.
Yeah, it's not genocide. It's a giant explosion, Nick.
Well, I don't know.
It's a nuclear bomb, Nick.
So if you drop a nuclear bomb on someone, on a certain country, it's not genocide, though?
Why'd you say certain country as if there's not just one?
A certain country.
Which one?
Well, if we're talking... Okay, so if you bomb a whole planet in Star Wars, it's not genocide? Like an area of a planet?
Please stop trying to pin genocide on me.
Well, you just saying that it was not. Okay, it was like, technically, isn't it? He killed,
he blew up the space station, not the planet.
True, but there were a lot of people of that race.
That's horrific. It was a horrific and terrible thing.
I think
it wasn't intentional.
But he didn't physically, like, do it. He didn't kill them himself.
Right.
So I think it's different.
No, that's true. Like, look, strangling someone to death is different from, like, dropping a bomb and flying away.
Yeah.
Everyone knows this.
I agree. I mean, Luke Skywalker then wouldn't be a very good person.
Yeah, no.
But, I agree. I get it. I get what you're saying. It is insane to me that Ahsoka was okay with all that stuff. And, like, she gets better, I guess, near the end of the season. But only marginally about that. We'll talk more when we get to those episodes.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to point out also that episode 7 of this season, which is the one where they get captured, they start in the holding cell, escape, and then end up back in the same holding cell, is the lowest rated episode of the entire series.
Nice.
Good.
And it should be. Good. I think that adds up a lot.
I like when they bring Rafa back. She's like, "What did you do to my sister?" And they're like, "Hey, you should calm down." She's like, "No." And they're like, "All right, I guess we'll torture you too, bitch." Like. Also,
I noticed during the parts where they were in the holding cell, where it's like every time the sisters would be like, "What the heck? You can't do this to us!" And then Ahsoka would chime in, and then they just like tase Ahsoka. Like, it was like Ahsoka keeps getting tased for these stupid bitches, and I'm like, that makes me hate them even more. I don't know.
They were very annoying. Also, this is a nitpicky thing, but like, I don't know if it. I don't want to say it was because I'm not used to hearing their accent. In this kind of or in Star Wars, but was their voice acting like really bad?
Yeah. Like, Trace especially.
Yeah,
just straight up bad delivery.
No one's taking my ship. My ship.
Should have got you, man.
Yeah, we should dub the entire 4 episodes with Mo doing the voices of both sisters.
She was really having like a private pile moment, right? Like in Full Metal Jacket.
Yeah, she really was.
She was about to fucking shoot Raph in the chest.
I never thought when I flew off on my ship that I would end up in a place like this. Shut up.
Yeah.
Nobody cares about your fucking ship, dude.
Hey, a podcast throwback. Who remembers, I don't have a death wish. Who remembers that? No. I don't got a death wish. Fuck you guys. I'm a fucking...
Oh, yeah. What was that from? I do remember.
Mandalorian, the last episode. What are you, crazy? I don't have a death wish.
What character was that, though?
It was that guy who's a pilot.
Lasered in the face.
Oh, yeah.
Being all rude to Gina Carano.
He immediately became like a Nazi rabbit.
Little did we know
I totally
he was
forgot
right.
about that character.
He was right about her. I'm kidding.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah, that guy was ridiculous. I forgot about that character completely.
We've done this podcast long enough to have things we don't remember talking about.
Yeah, it's crazy. I'll say some little bits of trivia, and then we'll move on to the last arc. One fun Easter egg is that the background characters in the first couple episodes of this are actually dressed up to look like they have the same outfits as the original Star Wars Kenner action figures. So if you look like the Rhodians, the Greedo aliens and whatnot, they all are wearing outfits that look like what those action figures were. And those action figures were like totally wonky looking. They didn't really look like... So what, back in the day when they made Greedo actually, the action figure had this like lime green jumpsuit. And as we know, he does not wear that in the film. But it was cool that they had a little throwback in this. And so they dressed up these background aliens to look like those old action figures.
Cute.
Dave Filoni, a true fan.
Yeah. It's kind of weird to me that like laundromats exist in Star Wars and essentially look the same.
Yeah.
That was weird. And also, I thought it was an interesting choice for... I don't think we've seen this species since the Phantom Menace. They bring back what are called the Toong species. The last episode, I think, when Trace and Rafa go and they steal the spice from whatever facility, those little short dudes are the same species as that pod racer, Ben Quadraneros, who's like got the 4 engines and he's all, wah! And they just, fly away and blow up before he even leaves the starting line.
Yeah, I remember that. Are these the same guys where we, in our highlight video, paused the screen and they were walking in the background?
No.
God
That's
damn it.
That's a
Rex
different one.
Tyrell's.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. I just thought that was cool. I don't know why they decided to bring that species back, but I'm happy they did. Moving on now to, I think, everyone's most anticipated section, the Siege of Mandalore Arc, the actual finale of the Clone Wars. Clearly what this season was made for.
Yep.
What a good 4 episodes,
Yeah,
really. I mean, it's just literally the rest of the season is you could take it or leave it. And I would just leave it. And I just watch these 4 episodes. If you're really going to watch the end of the Clone Wars, this is what it is.
Right.
Pretty much every single episode of these 4 is just a great watch. It's like a whole film, essentially.
Right. I thought they were phenomenal. I've had this discussion with people before, but it was just like, it's basically they made these 4 episodes and they're like, well, we got all this 8 other episodes we got to fill out. Might as well
exactly,
fill out some shit.
I've never seen like such a strict demarcation of resources, time, money, ideas in one part of a show before.
Right. I don't know if you guys know, but like the first 8 episodes were actually essentially already like storyboarded and like figured out like way before these 4, because those were supposed to be the Clone Wars before they canceled it.
Just crumple it up.
So it's kind of like, I feel like Dave Filoni really, if they were going to make 8 new episodes along with these 4, I feel like it was a cost efficient thing to just use what they had already built upon.
Right.
But it would have been nice to see a completely different first 8 episodes.
I agree. But yeah, no, I don't even know where to start with this.
Well, I want to say these 4 episodes, and I don't know if he did. I think we were talking about it earlier. I don't know if Dave Filoni consulted with George Lucas when he was making these last 4, but like that you really feel like a huge reverence and respect for George Lucas in these last 4, down to like just the beginning. The opening has the old like Lucasfilm LTD logo. It's very clearly, George, this is the end of your baby, the Clone Wars. That's great. That's so nice.
Yeah.
But if I got to say something bad,
to
balance it out, and I gotta. Am I the only one who thinks Anakin is a giant chode at the beginning of episode 9?
What?
Yeah, he's such a Chad.
He's so he's the same problem I had with the Bad Batch. They just instantly want to make him like so cool that he's not at all to me. He's just literally standing there. Mind you, this is the only time we've ever seen a Jedi be such a dick about things and be like, oh, there's only like 1,000 battle droids over there, and like barely dodging blaster bolts while Obi-Wan and all these clones are taking cover, and you just saw like a dozen of them get killed in an explosion, and Anakin's like, what up, bitches? I just thought that was stupid as fuck.
Go ahead.
Good, just kill my ass because I loved it. Okay, I loved it. Jesus,
that's good. That's good for you.
I thought it was chody. But I the only reason why I do like it is because when he does finally meet with Ahsoka and she's just like, I don't have time for this. Yeah. And I'm just like, yes, tell him.
Ooh, it hurts.
I do. I agree. It is good, but I thought they overdid it in the beginning. But I do like that once he sees Ahsoka, he just kind of falls apart.
He literally goes,
all his confidence like pee-pees away.
Yeah.
And that was good.
Top of episode 9 is when I thought like, it really illustrated for me like, wow, it must be hard being Obi-Wan and having a student that is literally massively more talented and capable than you and trying to teach them something that they must learn or they will die. And it's just impossible. It's just sad. It just saddened me.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I guess that's kind of one of the only times that, I could see that situation where it does seem that Anakin is more powerful and more confident in his abilities. But like I said, I think they overdid it. That was silly. He's not even like that.
It was just cheesy, you know? Like, they can, like, have that bravado, but without the...
Right.
Yeah.
Whatever. That was whatever. I can get past that, though. I mean, obviously, that's a kind of a nitpick. I really love that Bo-Katan calls Obi-Wan out, being like, I thought you cared about my sister, Duchess Satine, ruler of Mandalore, who was killed.
I'm going to keep it 100% real with you guys. I don't know who the fuck they're talking about.
You don't? Obi-Wan had a girlfriend, dude.
Yeah, I know. I got to go back and watch those. As soon as I realized, I was like, fuck, I got to see that. Yeah. I must see Obi-Wan's girlfriend.
I mean, it's crazy. They don't, obviously in the Clone Wars show, they don't ever show, they're not actually a couple. But I think the backstory, from what I remember, was that like before the Clone Wars and even before episode 1, Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon were tasked to protect this queen or princess, whatever she was at that time. So Obi-Wan was essentially her bodyguard. It was kind of like the same with like Padme Anakin.
This is literally the only way Jedi pick up chicks. I swear. Right. You have to guard their lives, and then Luke Skywalker. I'm sorry, he didn't pick her up ultimately.
Yeah, exactly. Though it's like that's the only way. That's the meet cute every time. It's like,
I gotta start becoming a bodyguard.
Right. Yeah, it'll do wonders for you.
Ladies, if your body needs guarding,
give them your Instagram handle.
At the Young Raj.
There you go.
More like at the garbage.
Oh, boing.
Listeners, prove them wrong. Make me popular.
All right, cool. But yeah, no, it was really cool to see that tiny little moment between them of like, because, Obi-Wan and Bo-Katan have that history and everything. And I really do think they kind of, I don't know if I love how they handled Obi-Wan in this season in general.
He kind of took a backseat.
Yeah, he took a big backseat, which was fine. I get it.
It's not about him.
Really about him much. I guess from episode 3, Obi-Wan, I feel like he had really like grown from Attack of the Clones. When I watch those two films, it feels like his like mindset has kind of changed and he's grown as a person. But then in this Clone Wars season, he seems a lot closer to his episode 2 mentality of like, more strict and more by the books.
Yeah, no, he seems a lot more conservative in this one. Still very like condescending towards like Ahsoka for her decisions. And I'm like, I understand, I guess, but this isn't my Obi-Wan.
Well, hold on, wait. Are we talking about the part where Ahsoka's like, you have to help Mandalore?
Yeah.
Well, okay.
Kind of.
So my thing is like, why does Mandalore matter at all in this war?
Well, no, it doesn't really matter in that specific war. You're right.
Wait, so and so when they were coming,
I think the important part though for them is like to capture Maul because
right. Yeah. But I was indignant when they were indignant that they wouldn't help Mandalore. And it's like, well, you have to help Mandalore. It's like, no, I fucking don't. Like, there's a massive galactic war going on with enormous priorities that have more to do with. I'm sorry, your planet's getting fucked, but like, everybody's planet is getting fucked. The capital city. When she says you're playing politics and the capital planet is under attack, I was like,
I did think that was weird.
Maturity whatsoever.
Where she was like, no, Coruscant doesn't need you. The Chancellor does. And he's like, okay, but he is the leader of the Republic, girl. That is a stupid thing to say. I know people were like, "Oh, that's such a good point, Ahsoka." Not really.
Yeah, it was like definingly small brain for me when she said that.
Right. Yeah, I guess it wasn't really more that moment, but I just like overall from the rest of the interaction. I don't know. I thought Obi-Wan was being still a little petty about things. You could tell he was still clearly like upset about her leaving the Jedi Order, which makes sense, but he should understand. He'd be more understanding from what I feel like Obi-Wan.
The band was getting back together. My mistake.
Right.
Yeah, I feel like it should have gone one way, right? Like either he would be really convinced or he'd be really against it, but he's kind of like, well, you're not a general in the Grand Republic of the Army or whatever. And he's like, well, I'll make her an advisor. Okay, whatever. Do whatever you want.
Right. He just seemed right, exactly. He just seemed like kind of a dick.
Very high school. Yeah.
I really loved seeing the Republic gunships flying into battle again. That was a good moment. When the season came out, it had been such a long time since we'd seen like gunships in action and stuff, and I don't know, something about seeing all those gunships and like carrying the ATTs into battle and like the whole fleet coming in. That's just a big cool moment for me. And you're squinting your eyes like you don't really care.
I'm just saying, they kind of went in there blind. No one checked if the LZ was hot. There was all this anti-aircraft. You could have at least bombed some of these areas to soften them up. No, fuck it, whatever. We have an infinite number of gunships and clones.
I don't know.
Let them die.
All right, Mr. Military Strategist.
another idiotic decision by clones to do something.
I won't argue with you there because I don't really have anything to say. I will say that I didn't ever think I wanted to see Ahsoka and Darth Maul meet, but that was actually really satisfying.
Yeah, that was fucking great.
That was actually really cool, like the conversations and the duel.
Oh, can we do Darth Maul now?
Yeah, I mean the duel was definitely the best in the entire Clone Wars series for sure. Like nothing comes close to that.
I love him. I really, really, really love Darth Maul as a villain, and I think it's because I got to see him in over the course of the 4 episodes in so many different situations. Like Darth Maul is more than just an evil bad guy; he is a straight up like survivor. Like he will do what it takes.
I really like his character a lot. I think watching these 4 episodes again just strengthened and augmented. They did such a good job at like developing him from like other things that I've seen him in. So it was cool seeing him again, and I liked. I know they didn't necessarily team up later either, but I liked them as a duo. Like,
they're not a duo.
I know, but I mean, like the fact that they would be quote unquote working together was an interesting thing that I didn't know I wanted.
Yeah, I like that he's not like stupidly committed to quote unquote evil.
Yeah,
and he's like, let's do it. Let's work together. I mean, I got fucked over by this guy, so you and I can do something.
Yeah, surprisingly, that was Ahsoka who was like, no, I don't want to work with you.
Yeah, he's a scheme.
You know what? He did it again. He's got the fucking girl on the ropes. She's hanging off the ledge, and he's just like, standing there. How many times you gonna do that, bro? How many fucking times you gonna stand there while your quarry is about to die, and then you fuck up at the last moment?
That's just his thing. He can't stop himself,
That's the stupidest fatal flaw to have I've ever heard.
Did you think that he was really gonna die when he was telling her, like, hey, drop me, let me go, let me die?
Kind of did, yeah.
Okay, but, like, we've seen this before. We've seen him fall down on a thing before, in half, and he survived that.
Wait, does anyone cover how he comes back? Is that in the book?
It's not ever specifically talked about in the show. Maybe it's probably dealt with in a book or a comic or something. I haven't read that. But I will say, I feel like this time, if she would have let him drop to his death, he might have actually died, because it really did seem like he wanted to die in that moment.
Yeah,
he really seemed like...
I don't trust him.
Let me die.
When he got chopped in half and he fell, he didn't want to die then. But now he's like, just kill me.
I felt bad for him. I don't know why life keeps hanging on to him.
Yeah. So he's just a cursed soul. But
yes. I mean, when you're born looking like that, like what choice do you have? I do love the Darth Maul like Mandalorian helmets. Those are fucking cool.
Yeah, they are cool.
I thought they were super cool. I also thought like, come on, man, you gotta start dressing like this dude.
Yeah.
Don't you think it's a little dumb?
That's my dad.
Doesn't it seem a little cartoonish to you guys?
It's a cartoon.
You played yourself.
But yeah, it isn't the first time that he had been on Mandalore. Previously, he had kind of helped someone else gain power and like become the ruler of Mandalore previously. It was that same guy that you see Bo-Katan fight and just beat pretty easily.
Samson? That was his name? Like
Almec.
number 2. Almec.
No, number 2 is what's that guy's name? Fuck. Gar Saxon. or
Saxon.
something.
Yeah,
Saxon. So I think those guys already had all that equipment made from the last time that Maul was there as ruler. It's still the same problem of why you just start dressing this guy.
I guess the band is getting back together.
Obviously, they got to differentiate themselves, be a new clan or whatnot.
It's for the audience.
That's important, both for the audience and
those guys are ready to die, though.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, fucking ride or die crew.
Yeah, a lot of fatalities, and they just swarm in there.
Yeah, no, they're cool with it. They're like, hell yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a die warrior.
Yeah, they like to die as warriors, They don't want to go out as bitches.
Yeah,
and I fuck with that heavy.
Nice. I thought it was pretty cool to see Ahsoka when she gets to be part of that hologram meeting with the Jedi that picks up right after they stop talking to Anakin in Revenge of the Sith. Mm-hmm. I thought that was a pretty cool little tie-in there.
Yeah.
I like that. It was kind of dumb that I get it, but it was just like Mace would have been like, "That's none of your business, citizen." It's just like, all right, dude. It's basically, if you didn't say that, the Jedi Order might still be around. You just sealed your fate right there by saying that, dude. I thought pretty much all the ties to Episode 3 were really cool. Years back, I never thought that it was actually going to tie so closely into Episode 3.
Yeah, right.
That was cool.
And I think it was a good choice just for audience engagement because what's happening and seeing them deal with it on their terms. It's just like, oh, you don't even fucking know how bad it is, son.
Oh, yeah, I know. The beginning of, what was it, episode 10, 11? Episode 11?
11, yeah.
The beginning of that, there's just the music is so ominous and they're traveling in the hyperspace and everything and Maul's in his, container, fuck this shit.
Yeah, they're fucking wheeling him in fucking Hannibal Lecter.
Yeah, and it's just the tone was perfect for the beginning of that. It is through the entire rest of the series, but especially the beginning, that set the tone perfectly. As the 501st Journal said it best,
we all knew what was about to happen, what we're about to do.
Hearing the vision that Ahsoka's having of that moment.
Unlimited power!
That just hit me right in the feels. It's just so good.
Darth Maul's like, you felt that too.
Yeah!
I know you felt it.
The second he said
that shit?
When he said that, I was like, why do Jedi even bother talking to each other? Don't they just operate off of vibes?
Yeah.
Basically.
Vibes. Yeah.
Good vibes only.
Yeah. They just think that.
And the moment when Ahsoka is surrounded by all the clones and she's deflecting all those blasts and is playing that track from Revenge of the Sith. It's Anakin's Dark Deeds. That was just, ooh.
She is dumb powerful.
Ooh.
Yeah, no, she's so
crazy
cool.
powerful.
And this girl's at a rave.
That was so good.
So the beginning of that entire sequence, obviously start to finish I loved. Even though, look, can we be real? It starts to push the believability a little bit, towards the end. She's massively powerful.
Oh, yeah.
And it's weird to me, why can't Obi-Wan do that? Or any of these other fucking Jedi Masters, TBH.
I don't know. I think you gotta watch the rest of the Clone Wars.
Yeah, but
I feel like
Ahsoka's pulling down a ship, you know what I'm saying? She's like a teenager.
I feel like the Clone Wars definitely has more exaggerated powers and stuff than the films. Usually the films are the more subdued action, and the animated stuff has grander scale stuff.
When Maul demolishes the hyperdrive of this giant space station, I was like, you are so fucking powerful. It was like watching Dragon Ball Z again.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa!
Yeah, and I really did. I loved that scene where it's a cool hallway scene, and people are like, those are the three hallway scenes. There's Darth Maul, Vader, and Luke. Mm-hmm. I asked him, that still doesn't really, for me.
Oh, it doesn't have the same
it doesn't
impact.
hold a candle to the Darth Vader one.
How could it?
And also, I love it. It's a good scene. And I love seeing Darth Maul be badass and whatnot and using the Force and chopping people's heads off. But I also feel like out of the three hallway scenes, it's the least believable just because he's literally walking down the hallway and they have so many clear shots at him. He doesn't have a lightsaber at all in that scene.
Yeah,
and it's I get it. It's supposed to be really cool. And he does use panels to block himself for a lot of it, but there are a lot of moments where they have wide open shots.
Yo, it's that pure intimidation.
It's like, oh god, we can't hit him.
I'll grant pure intimidation for believability.
I would say if I saw him walking down a hall and I had a gun, I'd be like,
He doesn't even have his lightsaber though.
But look at him. Yeah. This is the literal devil.
You see, he's like,
And
he's like lifting people up and shit.
I totally get it, but there's like 12 guys all firing their weapons.
Yeah, he just decapitated like 3 of my bros with a fucking wall.
I get it, but just watch the scene.
Look.
He's like making a perfect like outline of his body. The blaster bolts around him. He's just like,
if you're upset about that, then you should be upset that Rex, made out of the same literal DNA as everybody else, doesn't miss. He's hitting like thousands of dudes.
Yeah, he hits a lot of them. Yeah.
Every single fucking guy on the space station's like, I don't know what the fuck the trigger is on this thing.
See,
that's why I got a name, and you guys just numbers.
That's why. But the reason why that's not as egregious to me is because most of the time that Rex is doing that, Ahsoka is also like right in front of him, like blocking bolts and deflecting things. So at least she has her lightsabers, and she's a Jedi.
Yeah, but there's one really long period where they're separated, where Rex is like, and like literally a dozen dudes are missing this guy.
Yeah, it's in the much wider space, and they're further apart.
Whatever, man.
So if you look at how small they are in the background, you can probably calculate that.
My favorite part, it's like, I'm putting you under treason orders. Okay, now I'm going to make it real dramatic. Ready?
Sure. But like the little scene before that where he has to be like, bitch, listen.
He's like, they don't care. Like they'll kill both of us and they'll die. Like, they don't care.
I'm telling you this.
Me. And then he just gets real quiet, and you just know that he's crying under his helmet. And then she takes it off, and he's crying, and it's like it makes me cry, and I'm like,
yeah, nah, dude. I mean,
you my boy.
It's a really powerful moment. This is what I meant when I was talking about how earlier in the season when he makes it such a point to like save Echo and stuff because they're like, oh, he's just another like clone. Who fucking cares? Now he's the one who has to be like, they don't give a shit about us. Those are my brothers, and they don't give a fuck. They're gonna kill us because we are clones. And yeah, it was a lot.
Oh, I knew things were gonna go south when he said, a lot of us are of two minds about the war. On the one hand, a lot of us think it shouldn't have happened. On the other hand, we wouldn't exist. And the second he said that, I'm like, who the fuck taught you to think so fucking much? Stop. I need this guy washed
just
right
like, that's
now.
great, man. Just keep watching the cartoons.
He's getting existential on me, dude. Are you kidding me?
I'm gonna say, though, like, those other clones look really dumb trying to fucking shoot down Ahsoka wearing their Ahsoka helmets. Like,
yeah.
You got my merch on, idiot.
Yeah, that's right. Haters.
Fake fans.
Fake fans, son. Oh, and I love those droids. The 3 droid per crew.
Don't you dare show sympathy for literal robots, please.
Cheap.
R7
my favorite
is Ahsoka's.
astromech. R7, the one who's green and red, that was actually Ahsoka's astromech droid through the whole series. Once she left the Jedi Order, he stayed with the Republic, obviously.
I will allow some mourning for R7, but I just want to say that you guys are being hoodwinked into feeling bad for robots.
Droids are like cats in this universe.
How could you possibly say that as a father to 2 cats? Droids are literally robots.
But they have
feelings. They have personality and feelings.
They're programmed personalities.
I don't think so. I think they're learned behaviors and personalities.
Fucking clanker. Clanker lover.
Yeah, clanker lover. That's a slur.
Oh my god.
No Vietnamese ever called me a clanker.
No, but I mean, come on. But R7, yeah, that was her droid. It is a little sad though when the 2 little doofy droids are just like, yeah, we'll help you out, guys. And they're just like still trying to like fuck them up.
Yeah,
and then they're like, all right, blast them. And all the clones.
There's like fucking 5 of them shooting
firing
these
squad of these clones at helpless astromech droids. Like that was pretty sad.
That was the fucking tip of the icing on the cake when they couldn't shoot one guy with 16,000. It's like, I'm gonna fucking take it down this droid. Fucking droid.
Yeah, exactly. But at the end of it, you do see that by that Y-wing that Rex and Ahsoka have salvaged R7's body parts. So like, and I know I'm gonna drop some crazy stuff on you right now. I don't think you've probably not watched it. You might have seen it, but you didn't. But you might not have. Mm-hmm. But in the Bad Batch, R7 reappears, and you're gonna love this.
Oh, right.
R7. So Ahsoka clearly like fixed him up, and then gifted him to the Martez sisters. So that's disgusting.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
This is terrible.
Yeah.
Where did you learn this?
I just learned this like last week on IMDb because I didn't even notice that was R7.
I am sickened. And not in the cool gay way.
No, I'm like Dave Filoni. Come on. If you guys haven't seen the Insta page, go on there. We have a good meme about not making Trace happen.
Yeah, that was my idea.
But god damn, Dave Filoni, he better not be trying to push Trace and Rafa on us.
That's like, what. See, forever. That's the thing is that's what. Oh, you mentioned it earlier, which is like the Bad Batch. Like the first 4 episodes introduced the Bad Batch. We have a Bad Batch series, and then we have like Trace, like the Martez sisters, and now they're making a recurrence. I don't need to see Trace ever again. I don't care.
Right. She's gonna be in the Ahsoka show.
Oh, she better not be.
Oh, come on.
Oh, my God. If she reappears
think
in that,
about it.
I'm going to be so disappointed.
Think,
Nick.
You think they set them up and they're not going to put them in the Ahsoka show? Come on, think.
Oh, my
Dave
God.
Dave Filoni and his cowboy hat.
Yeah. Dave Filoni, you motherfucker.
Oh, please, can we make that meme? Dave Filoni yelling at Nick?
Yeah.
We should.
You think I would just make a character? A one-off character?
No. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
And this has nothing to do with our feelings toward the Latinx community.
The what?
Jesus Christ.
Oh, Latinx.
Oh.
Now we got to put out a press release.
Okay, let's just talk about the last scene.
Yeah. Fuck, dude.
Vader coming up to Ahsoka's lightsaber.
No, even like before that, when like Ahsoka's like leaving her lightsaber and they have like the mass grave. They start the scene with this silence and then just this one note that resonates, and it sets the entire scene so well. It's so hollow, and it's like so gorgeous, that whole last sequence.
Yeah, I thought the shot from the bird's eye, having a very small Vader, was like a great artistic choice, showing Anakin's just one man. And I mean, I'm so curious, like. This is the stuff I'm curious about when it comes to like the period between 3 and 4, and I can't seem to get enough of this. And I guess we will with the Ahsoka show and everything else, but really like...
No, we won't. The Ahsoka show is not set in this time period.
It's not about the period between 3 and 4?
Nope. From what I know, it's not.
I don't know.
It's after 6?
Yeah, I think so.
Jesus Christ.
It's just... what I want to know is like, what could he possibly be thinking when he sees those lightsabers again? Well, that lightsaber again.
Yeah. Well, I think it says a lot that he like walks away with it.
Yeah,
like he keeps it. He doesn't just like drop it and leave it there.
Yeah.
He keeps it as a little memento.
I figure it's probably one of the first things he does. Well,
that's one of the like that's something left behind by one of the only people he wasn't sure what happened to, probably, like, and now he knows that he probably lost them forever too, and like that's like just so...
through death, or just even from like losing them as someone.
Yeah, he lost everything. It's
probably what, like 3-4 years down the line,
maybe.
Yeah, it's been a while.
I just wonder how long the armor change takes.
Right.
I don't know. They clearly didn't have clones. I mean, stormtroopers yet in the Bad Batch so far. So
I wonder what happens to all these clones. Again,
I really hope the Bad Batch. We're most of the way through the first season. I don't really want there to be another season of the Bad Batch. So I hope that they just get on with it and show us what's going to happen. Because I think there's only 3 episodes left of the Bad Batch. So I'm pretty sure there's got to be a second season, which is unfortunate because I really don't care about there being a second season of the show. A lot of people are speculating that it's possible that they might use a storyline that was a clone uprising. The clones, the Kaminoans create kind of their own little army on the side to
defeat the Empire.
Yeah, just fight back against the Empire. But I feel like if they use it in this show, in this context, it'd probably just be maybe they have some sort of, they have Order 66. Maybe they have some sort of order that makes them loyal to the Kaminoans and kind of, be hostile towards the Empire.
Yeah, come to think of it, if I was the Republic after I bought the clones, I'd destroy Kamino. Doesn't sound safe.
After you became the Empire, yeah, you just...
It just doesn't sound like a good idea for you guys to stick around.
Just smudge that off the map.
But yeah, so that was our thoughts on Clone Wars Season 7.
Yay!
It was good. You know, I think everyone knows that the last 4 episodes is the real finale, and the rest is kind of just more Clone Wars, which is fine.
I feel like I need to mention this, that I watched 12 episodes of this show, waiting diligently and faithfully for the moment where I thought Darth Maul was going to fight old Obi-Wan. You guys know how the fuck that turned out. Different show, come on, man.
Yeah, you probably should have figured out that it was a different show
a
while ago.
I was literally at the end of the fucking 12th episode, and I was like, oh, an epilogue, here it comes. Oh, there's only like 3 minutes left. What the fuck? No, wait, what are you doing?
No.
Yeah, no, that's you should watch that. I want to get your opinion.
You got to like the 4th episode with still the Marquez sisters, and you thought that this was gonna happen. Come on, man.
I was definitely thinking like, ooh, how are they gonna work it in?
How are they gonna work this?
Those writers must be so talented.
It's like, wow, there's gonna be a big time jump at the end of this. But anyway, let's move things along to Mo with the latest around the galaxy.
Listeners, I'm here with a special investigative report. Deep inside the bowels of the crime lord, Jabba the Hutt's palace. And I'm here to investigate claims of grand larceny, racketeering, and even human traffic. Oh, whoa. That Twi'lek has some sexy moves. No, I was being invited. No, gun hand to me, please. No.
Holy hell. Is he all right there? Mo?
I hope not.
Oh, we've lost transmission. Wow, who knows? I didn't even realize Jabba let Tusken Raiders into his palace, so that's pretty crazy.
They got in.
Anyway.
Should have picked a different disguise then. Our background hero of the week is the suave and debonair bounty hunter, Amanaman. He first appeared in Episode 6, Return of the Jedi, as a member of Jabba the Hutt's court. He is a mole that helps Lando Calrissian find Boba Fett and in turn rescue Han Solo. What can I say about a man that needs no introduction, besides that I'll give you guys a few seconds to look him up. As a bounty hunter, he was successful and dangerous. He preferred traditional hunting weapons to blasters, which just adds to his gruesome nature. To top that off, he was known to haul around the heads of his vanquished foes on his walking staff. Amanaman is the perfect example of why I would instantly die in the Star Wars universe. I mean, I'm assuming you guys have looked him up. Just look at this guy, right? He reminds me more of a stoned Jedi Council member.
Yeah, he's scary looking. I mean, he just... I can't decide if he's scary looking or if he just looks like someone balled up a piece of clay and like threw it at a table, and that's what the design ended up being.
The thing is, he would literally kill you before you got that line out, apparently. So don't judge a book by its cover is all I'm getting at here.
You know, I'm pretty sure that guy can literally roll up almost like a destroyer droid, and that's how he travels around. I think that's what happens.
I can't fear him because of his name. It's like he was born and his mother or whatever he was born out of looked at it was like, Amanaman.
You remind me of two men.
But yeah, this,
in a giant green suit.
But this guy is literally a blink and you will miss it character. Like, especially since Jabba's palace is such a dark scene, very easy to miss this guy. He got a toy like way back when Return of the Jedi came out, though. I think he did. I don't remember. I know that it's very rare though. It's expensive to get like an authentic one.
Just the piece of clay. It was like, there he is.
Yeah, jeez.
I left my avocado out in the sun and it became a man.
I always do remember reading about his staff and how it had skulls on it and being like, that's pretty fucked up. Like, that's crazy for Star Wars.
If you were in the Star Wars universe, would you do that? Walk around with your vanquished foes on your head walking staff?
No, they get heavy.
Yeah, I just think
this chick got so many vanquished foes.
That just sounds like something more out of like the Predator films.
Yeah.
Also, I feel like people would assume I had a small penis.
Yo, if a man could hear you,
because you would have to have it more than one like head. Because then it's just like, why is this guy just carrying his head around?
Just one head. I guess if it's your worst enemy ever.
But then you'd have to give the context. So you put a sign under it.
It's a great conversation starter, so.
You could just be like, hey, how's it going?
Is that a head on your staff? Or are you just happy to see
noticing,
me?
Man. Yusa in big doo-doo, because it's time for some Bombad fan mail. If you have a Star Wars question you need answered, comment down below. Send us a message or an email to talkewok@gmail.com to be featured in our next episode.
What's wrong, Will?
That's what true love looks like, guys.
This week we have 2 questions submitted by my brothers, Nathan and Jeffrey Koss. The first is, if you were to visit the famous Mos Eisley Cantina, what beverage would you order? So I was looking up what alcoholic drinks are in Star Wars, and it was kind of a boring answer when I was on Wikipedia in general, because it was just like, Star Wars has beers, ales, wines, and it's just like, oh, okay. I thought maybe there would be more names for exotic drinks, and looking further, I did find some, and apparently Chalmun's Cantina is, I believe, what it's called. That's what the Mos Eisley Cantina's real name is.
Chalmun's?
Chalmun's?
That the guy who owns it?
I guess so. Actually has a secret order menu.
Ooh.
Which is what I posted in our document here. And I think I would probably go with the Cassandra Sunrise myself. No. Nova Blaster. I don't know if that's good for me. But Corellian Brandy, that sounds like human safe. So I will drink that.
I don't know. It kind of sounds dirty.
You're right.
What? Have you guys ever had brandy?
I don't know.
Every time I see it on TV, it's like people in the 19th century think of it like a soft drink. Like, oh, I'll have a brandy. Like, it's like 11 o'clock. I need to go to bed. I don't know what the hell it is. It is like a sugary drink?
No, I don't think so. I don't know.
So you'll have the brandy, huh?
Yes. What about you guys?
Do I have to pick from the Chalmun's menu?
No, there's those other drinks I put in the document.
Thought you said you'd have a Jawa juice.
I lied.
Oh.
But yeah,
What the fuck am I gonna do with this Jawa juice?
I would order a Jawa juice, probably just because like that's what Obi-Wan Kenobi gets from Dexter's Diner.
Yeah.
And like whatever Obi's having, I'm having.
Dude, what an Obi simp over here, man.
I'll have what he's having.
What about you, Mo?
I'll be having the Booganuga. Booganuga is
no, that's not how you say that.
Man, this guy's telling me how to pronounce fictional names.
Boganoga.
Why would you say Booganuga?
You don't know if those are hard O's. Hard O's. Those exist, right?
Use just
short O's,
use your
long
brain,
O's.
man.
So I'll have the Booganuga. Hear me out, IPA drinkers. It's an extremely strong hot ale. It was so intoxicating that 2 containers could knock out an entire squadron of stormtroopers, and it was often joked that it made a good engine flush. So yeah, that sounds like my kind of drink. Am I right? Hello.
That's what Mo wants to put in his body.
Where are my hops people at? Put some more hops in this.
I would probably have a Tatooine Sunburn, also known as a Tatooine Sunrise. It sounds a lot like a tequila sunrise, which is something that I do enjoy in real life. And I just like sweet things, I'm not gonna lie. It's an intoxicating beverage consisting of 2 Starshine surprises in the same glass. What does that mean? We'll find out.
Yeah, that sounds dangerous, but okay.
Bottoms up.
And the second question was, does ice cream exist in Star Wars? What is it made out of, and where can you buy it?
All right, which one asked this one?
I believe that was Jeffrey.
Good question, Jeffrey.
The answer to that is also less interesting.
But it's important. It's important.
Yeah, so the answer is yeah, ice cream exists in Star Wars, and I guess it's just ice cream. Like, I don't think it has a special name, honestly.
If you have milk and you have cold, you have ice cream.
If you have milk and you have cold, you got ice cream.
You need time also. Don't forget.
Where you're going to buy it, I'm not sure exactly which planets are going to have it. I mean, definitely Tatooine, because you need it on that desert planet. And Banthas make the blue milk, so you can have some good blue ice cream.
Can we actually send this to Kathleen so it's in the next episode of The Bad Batch where the little one gets some ice cream?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Did you see the newest episode? She eats like popcorn.
Yeah, it's like a trail mix popcorn kind of thing.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Damn. Now I want some.
But I really doubt that Hoth would have ice cream, because that would mean that someone would have to milk a tauntaun. And that just sounds disgusting.
Tauntaun nips.
Oh, these tauntaun teats.
Oh.
Ew.
Rescue me.
And apparently there's also snow cones, but they're called Nectros Freeze.
Yes. Which sounds cool. I specifically liked the Moonfex. What is the Moonfex? What?
The Moonfex.
Look like a soft plum scoop.
That's a whole different... That's just nothing.
What the fuck?
That's what that planet looks like.
Oh. Well, if it was an ice cream, I'd like it.
Yeah, I think I'd be surprised if people knew their planet looked like a giant ice cream and didn't make any.
All right, that about does it for this episode. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Ewok Talk for more. Make sure you follow all our accounts on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and whatnot to see everything the rest of the tribe does. If you want to follow me, I'm at Bobby_Fut on Instagram or Maladaptive Films on YouTube.
You can follow me, Muhammad, at The Young Raj on Instagram.
And you can follow me on Instagram at Bitter Peaches. Yeah, I changed it. It's true. I'm also on Twitter at Cool Guy Dude Boy. And also, I'm on Twitch now. I stream on Saturday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Come hang.
Woo!
Yeah, it's a good time. And if you haven't watched our commentary on episode 1, like our highlights specifically, you should watch that on YouTube because it's fucking great.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Woo!
All right, guys. Thanks so much for listening to another episode of Ewok Talk. We will talk to you next time. And as always, nub nub.